Welcome back to a Monday edition of the Blue Review. We are back after a Mandy's weekend, a fun weekend for sure for the station here at ESPN LA. A blast, Greg says. We're going to react to the Freeway series. I don't know how much you got to watch, Greg, being that, you were having some fun of the Mandy's. Marcus, we'll start with you, of course, over there on that end. But before we get into anything, I want to just say that the Blue Review here, we're presented by LAX. Our friends at the Los Angeles International Airport. How dare I forget?
Oh, the hat switch. Look at that.
Yes.
Strong
They're
move.
just over there. They're changing the travel experience, reducing traffic, saving guest time. I was just there last night picking up my family from Seattle. So it looked good over there. It was a smooth entrance, smooth exit. Can't say that all the time, but now you can because they're changing the experience. So if you want to learn more, check that out at flylax.com/transforminglax. So let's just start with you, Marcus. The Angels won in extras on Friday. Crazy game. It was interesting. It was unique to see. Patrick Sandoval went out early. The Dodgers offense just was very quiet. But of course, Landon Knack looked good. I don't know. I'll start with you, Marcus. How did you see the game? How did things look?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a weird game in the sense that, Shohei hit the home run. I mean, they were struggling to get anything going. Shohei hits the home run, and you sort of thought, all right, well, maybe this is the beginning of something. And it wasn't. I mean, that was it. That was the entirety of the offense, the 2-run home run. But you're right. I mean, the pitching wasn't bad. They only gave up 3 runs. The problem is they just didn't generate any offense on Friday night. But Landon Knack, I thought, looked okay. I'd said on Friday, hopefully he can get through, 4 innings. And that's about, I think, what he gave them. I think it was 4 innings. And then they had to go on to Yarbrough. And Yarbrough just had a rough day. I mean, it's just, he hit 3 guys. He gave up a hit or 2, whatever. It just was a bad outing for Ryan Yarbrough. But even then, he got out of it with just a 2-run score. It was a tie ball game. If the Dodgers generate any more offense, they probably go on to win that game. And so then, on Saturday, the floodgates open, and Tyler Glasnow, one of the rare times he's the recipient of a whole lot of run support. They get him 7 runs of support. That was plenty enough for him to get it done. So, it's a split. Could have been better, could have been worse. But now it's on to Chicago.
Yeah, look, I definitely saw all of Friday. I'm not gonna lie, if you can hear it in my voice, I don't have much of one because of Saturday. So I did not watch the game live. I didn't have a chance to. We were kind of doing something, but it seemed like from the highlights that I saw and everything, it looked like it was a pretty good game. Tyler's apparently looked good. I think Gavin Lux looked pretty good in that game too, right? Did you watch?
Lux looked pretty good in that game. Kevin Biggio got 2 hits in that game.
He swung the bat then. That's fantastic.
He had a bunt single and like a line drive to right. He had 2 hits in the game. It was amazing.
Wow, look at that. Good for him. Yeah. But the thing that's just bothering about all this, like splitting with the Angels, like sure I would have liked to get that win on Friday, but like who cares? Whatever. The Shohei hit a home run each day. That's great. That's all that matters for that whole series right there. But I don't understand why there was no game yesterday. I was laying on my couch basically dying because I was so tired, and I wanted to watch a Dodger game, and now apparently this is 3 years in a row that there's no Dodger game on a Sunday. I don't understand why Major League Baseball decided to make Dodgers Angels 2-game sets and then have them on Friday and Saturday and have Sunday off. That's the perfect day to have a game. I don't understand.
I'd be curious. I mean, I guess I could easily go and look this up, but like, are the other sort of local rivalry games like that? I mean, do the Yankees and Mets play?
I think they play 3.
Right. Like I don't think the Cubs and White Sox play 2-game series. Like I don't understand why it is that the Dodgers and Angels only do.
I'll try and do a quick search because it's just very odd. And the Dodgers schedule this year has just been weird in general. Like they went over to New York to play the Yankees and then came home for a 1-game or 3-game set with the Rockies and then flew back out east again. They're going back and forth and doing some weird stuff. I just don't get it.
Especially when you have Ohtani, who is having the absolute greatest June of all time, essentially outside of his own June, a couple of years ago. So the fact that you're not getting a Sunday night or a Sunday game with Dodgers Angels, that is That is absurd. I don't know if you found an answer, Greg.
So Wednesday, so the White Sox played the Cubs on the 4th and 5th, and it was a 2-game set. It was on a Tuesday and Wednesday.
So I'm looking at the Yankees and Mets are going to start a 2-game series tomorrow. So yeah, so the Yankees played on Sunday, but they're off today, and then them and the Mets play Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can understand the Tuesday, Wednesday 2-game set. I still don't understand a Friday, Saturday 2-game set. I get you want to have the weekend for the Angels, but no, none of it makes sense. Major League Baseball makes no sense. I want to see when this next one is too, because they're playing the White Sox, so it's easy to go find the White Sox schedule. Again, yes, they do. The Cubs and White Sox versus the Cubs on August 9th and 10th. I have a Friday and Saturday 2-game set. And don't play on Sunday. What is Major League Baseball doing?
I don't understand that. I mean, you would think that you would want Sunday games, especially in the summer. You know, it's like
for rivalry games,
but it's the summer. I mean, I know it's warmer, but everybody's out. School is out, so you can have. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know.
I see. Bob Bacon in the chat.
Bob Bacon.
He says attendance is better on a Friday night than a Sunday afternoon. I wonder if maybe that plays a factor. It's a good comment.
I guess. But why not play a 3-game series?
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, take a game away from somewhere else. These are like intercity rivalry games. I don't.
The whole history of baseball is built around the 3-game series. Like I don't know. What do I know?
Major League Baseball's dumb. Major League. Like Rob Manfred is the Coors Field of commissioners, right? Like it's just stupid. Like I've just always hated this dude. Like I probably shouldn't say hate. I've never liked this guy as a commissioner, and these things that he's doing now. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming in, but come on, dude, just ridiculous.
Yeah,
3-game series. How hard?
Just play a 3-game series. It's fine.
Yeah, well, they get to fly over to play the White Sox, who are just an abomination of a baseball team.
They're awful. So hopefully the Dodgers actually show up, though, right? Like, don't just mail it in for the next 3 days, because the White Sox are legitimately terrible. Let's hope that they remain legitimately terrible for the next 3 days.
How have they been recently? I know they won a couple games. They went on like a little streak, didn't they, at one point?
Oh no! I don't know. I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up the schedule right now. I have no idea.
What's a streak to the White Sox when you're 21-58?
Yeah, I mean they have lost. They've lost 4 of their last 5.
Okay.
They have not put together. They have not put together back-to-back wins since early June. They won 2 games against the Red Sox, but yeah, they're not close to anything hot.
They're one of 2 teams to give up over 400 runs this year, and they have a minus 164 differential. Is that good?
That seems bad.
Thanks for asking. I don't think it is.
That seems bad. Yeah. Here's the thing. So I was
worse than baseball.
The big takeaway from this week potentially is Dodger fans getting a look at a couple of guys who could possibly be Dodgers at some point, right? I mean, if
Luis Robert,
if they're serious about making that trade, I mean, I've heard the name Garrett Crochet pop up a couple of times too.
He's pitching tonight.
So I mean, here's a chance for Dodger fans to kind of maybe do some advanced scouting of guys that, depending on how things go before the trade deadline, is Tommy Pham still there too? I know he's a name. He's a name that has popped up occasionally in some trade rumors. So a chance maybe to do some advanced scouting over the next 3 days.
No, that's a good point. Like Tommy Pham, at the beginning of the year, I wanted Tommy Pham also. I would be okay with getting a Tommy Pham. A lot of people talk about Paul DeJong, the shortstop over there too. So that's a guy that could possibly move. I'm not a big DeJong guy. I don't think he was good for the Cardinals for like a year.
Yeah.
He's having a decent year right now. He's got 14 home runs, 30 RBIs. So he has a little bit of power. But he's not getting on base. He has a 283 on base. That just doesn't seem like a dude that you want on this team specifically that needs you on base as much as possible. Yeah. So
he also had a major. I don't know if you saw. He also had a major brain fart a couple of days ago. 9th inning of a game, they were trailing. Gets on base with 1 out in the 9th. Forgot how many outs there were. So on a fly ball, he just took off running. And was around second base and got doubled off to end the game.
Oh, jeez. Well,
Yeah.
on those, if they do end up getting him, then hopefully it's just a situation when they're on a terrible team,
Where
and
he's
so it's just like it
just
doesn't
check
matter.
out. Right.
You completely check out. This is one way to lose. You just keep finding new ways to lose. Like Luis Robert Jr. is not having a good year in the slightest, but people think that he's been good in the past, so bring him along. So you're right. There's a couple dudes that could be somebody to think about.
Side note, speaking of new ways to lose, did you see the Rockies winning on a walk-off pitch clock violation this past weekend?
No.
Dang.
Really?
Yes, against the Nationals, bases loaded, 3-2 pitch, 3-2 count, and a pitch clock violation happens. It's ball 4, spin everybody, and the Rockies win.
Oh my God! He just didn't get the pitch out in time.
Just didn't get it out in time.
So their second walk-off in a week was a pitch clock walk-off.
pitch clock walk-off. There it is.
Unbelievable. God, that's a mess. That's just another bad franchise in the Nationals. Like you just can't have those things happen.
So yeah, you guys are right. This upcoming series might be a little tryout, perhaps, for certain players. But another thing we're gonna see is Ohtani popping off. He's been going insane this June. I think this last week he may have been one of only 6 players, I'll have to look up the names, who have hit 3 450 plus home runs in 1 week. I have it here. It was Stanton in 15, Cargo in 2016. That's a name I haven't heard in a minute. Joey Gallo, Olsen, and Acuna last year. So the dude is absolutely raking. I had stats off the top of my head with his last week, just the numbers: 481 with a 588 OBP, 120, 1,259 slug, 6 home runs. Guys, what the hell? Can he just continue to get better? Greg, I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point anymore.
I mean, he can obviously continue to get better because that's just who he is. But he's apparently, I saw over the weekend a couple of things on Twitter come down that he's like the greatest June hitter in the history of the game.
Of ever.
Of all time. Yeah.
What, Mantle?
It's Shohei Ohtani is the greatest June hitter of all time. So now we need to push that into September because he's never actually played in September. So
not yet. At least nothing meaningful in September.
Right. No. Maybe it's that it's the last game of the season type thing because it happens to land on September. Oh, I'm sorry, October. I meant to say October.
Yes, he's definitely going to play.
I'm tired still, man. It was a long weekend. It was a long weekend. Nothing meaningful in September and nothing at all in October. So when that starts happening that'd be fantastic. But yeah, the guy is he's amazing. I don't know any more adjectives to say about him anymore, but he just makes this team go. And do we have the clip? Did you ever pull the clip? Have you pulled the clip that I want right now? Marcus is laughing because
I know what's coming. Yes.
I know. I'll have it tomorrow. I don't have that device. I don't have that device. I know.
Oh, that device. Okay, we had to hold something. But basically, Marcus calling himself a complete and utter.
I'm a clown. Yeah, no. I will say this. At this point, I'm going to lean into it. And I'm going to say that I am motivating Shohei, right? That I am the one who's pushing him to be apparently the greatest leadoff hitter of all time. You're
reverse jinxing him, just like I did to Alex Vezina.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I had, a little bit of doubt in my heart. And now he is going and just completely mashing every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take some credit for that.
I think the biggest thing is too, when it comes to Shohei, are we getting what we paid for? Is this so far? It's like, is there any part of what he has done this season and you're like, I expected more? I don't think I have that.
No. I don't know. I remember on a broadcast, I don't know, it was maybe a couple of weeks ago. He sort of misread a base hit to the outfield. It's one that he probably could have scored from second, but he sort of misread it and only got to third or whatever. And I think Oral Hershiser was like, if there's one, and he's like, it's a super small nitpick. He's like, if there's one thing that's sort of not great, is that sometimes he struggles to read hits to the outfield. I'm like, all right, man. Is
this what we're doing?
Right. If this is the thing that we're nitpicking, and even Oral admitted this is a super small nitpick. But if this is the thing that we got to go to, I think things are going pretty well.
Yeah. I was looking up last year's June because I don't even know how to put it. Last year, like you said, Greg, he's like the greatest June hitter of all time. Possibly last year may have been better because he was still pitching at the time, and he was putting up the numbers he's doing right now while hitting, and also putting up like a 2.13 ERA and doing something ridiculous. But to your point, Greg, like, is he giving us what is he giving the Dodgers what they paid for? I mean, I think yes, because you get somebody like Mookie who goes down, you have some arms going down, and you're still winning games because of Ohtani's star power and his bat. So in my mind, I can't see us getting anything better out of Ohtani.
No, I agree with you. But Lance the Legend put it in here. We aren't getting what we paid for until we win a World Series. You're absolutely right. That is 100% true. However, the question is more so about as of right now, what we're seeing on the field right now. We can't project further on and say like but yes, he needs to win a World Series, of course, and probably multiple World Series. My guess from when he signed it, I said 3. I don't know. Other people said more. Some people said less, whatever it happens to be. But as of right now, what we're seeing on the field is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, no, I agree. And look, I'll even say, at least for Ohtani, I'm curious to see how he performs in a postseason series, never having been there, at least on the major league level. And I'll say this. The failures we have seen in the postseason recently have sort of been team failures, right? Like, it's hard to point the finger at one thing. Some years it's been the pitching has completely let them down. We've had multiple years where the offense has just not shown up. So I am very curious to see what Shohei does in a playoff situation. But at some point, too, all of the guys around him have to show up and be productive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes there's guys that just really step up when the lights are on them. I feel like Shohei is going to be one of those guys, but just based off what he did in Japan, which is different, obviously, and in the WBC, how well he played in the WBC and strike like this was pitching too. He struck out Mike Trout to end a game on a 3-2 pitch. Like that's a pretty big deal. He sees those moments and he rises to them. So I'm hoping, and I feel good about thinking that he's going to rise to those occasions. But he could be Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez was probably one of the best regular season players on his steroids, in the history of the game. But when it got to the playoffs, he was nowhere to be seen except for, I think, 1 year with the Yankees. But besides that, he was bad in the playoffs. He hit like under 200 or around 200 for the most part. He has to be better than that. He cannot be that guy. So hopefully this is what we're going to get him. I think we will. I have high hopes for that.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm excited about it. And look, I think for him, he's got to be excited about it. I mean, right? Like he knows that they are going to be in the playoffs. That was not a thing he could say for certain in Anaheim all those years. And so I think for him, the opportunity has to be exciting. And now it's just, let's get this team back healthy again and see what this lineup in full, when Mookie's back, hopefully Max Muncy's coming. I know that the bad news of him going to the 60-day IL.
Yeah, that was
not great, but hopefully he's able to recover and get back. The pitching staff can hopefully get whole again and just have this team hitting on all cylinders going into October.
Yeah. And by the way, remember when we were getting so upset with Shohei because his average was going down and he was like, okay, maybe he's going back to being that guy that we all know. He's he is a career 280 hitter is what we said. So, if he gets down to that, I understand. Yeah, he's back up to 320.
So he's like 320 now, right?
Yeah. just keeps going up. So he's got an over 1,000 OPS. He's almost on base 40% of the time. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, Dodgers Ohtani hits differently, and I mean that literally and metaphorically. I think that he may have his best statistical year of all time in this Dodgers uniform. So I mean, and you're not seeing him on the pitching end, so that might help as well. But last year he hit 15 home runs in June, so let's see if he can reach that tally because he's already up there.
What do you say? He has 6 already, or no? How many?
He had 6 just in the last week. So I'll tell you how much.
What is it? Last week, Jesus, and he's doing it against good, maybe not good team, Colorado, the Angels. No. he's just getting them.
He's getting them, man. It doesn't matter. They don't ask how; they ask how many.
Yes, true, 100%.
So let's see. I'm doing the math. He has 9 home runs in June so far.
9 home runs in June.
So you can do it.
I mean, if he gets
June right now,
that's 6 more. So I mean. If he does that, fantastic. I can't imagine that's what it is. But yeah, like the guy is just absolutely incredible. And other guys are starting to step up too. The fact that we were talking about Gavin Lux is stepping up. I've been really, really impressed with Andy Pages. He has been as steady as anybody could possibly be right now. It's really nice to see guys like that stepping up, doing well. Biggio's not going to be around, so I'm not really worried about it. I can't imagine he's a guy that's around much longer in general.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, again, I said this last week. I mean, what is sort of helping him is the fact that there are no other regular, consistent options at third base. You'll see Kike there occasionally. I mean, I guess Chris Taylor is starting to hit a little bit now, so maybe he can slot in and play a game or two over there. But until they find a regular option, and again, with Max Muncy's return being pushed back, that gives Biggio a little bit more runway. Who knows? Maybe the 2-hit game a couple of nights ago helps get him going a little bit. But I'm with you. Long term, he is not gonna. I would be surprised if we see him around in September.
Speaking of Chris Taylor, are we just happy that he's over 130? He's almost hitting 140.
Yeah. No, he's hits in 4 of his last 5 games. Yeah, man.
He was 5 of his last 10 at one point. I don't know what he did did he play on Saturday? Again, I wasn't.
What day was Saturday? No, he did not play on Saturday.
No, okay. So he's probably still right around that 5 of his last 10 situation.
Yeah.
So
we'll take it.
All right. Yeah, absolutely take it. 100%. So
yeah. So he's 5 of his last 11, I think, officially is what he is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out CT3.
Not bad.
Yeah.
And now who's Ohtani there?
So who's pitching in this series? We got I know Bobby's pitching coming up tomorrow. It's James Paxton today, Bobby Miller, and Gavin Stone. So these are the types of games that for James Paxton and Bobby Miller, you hope that you can get something out of it. It's really Bobby. He started to look really good at the end of his start in Colorado. But he gave up a little bit in that first inning that kind of hurt him. So hopefully you start to see the regular Bobby against a bad team tomorrow night. And Paxton's I've been love watching Paxton without the walks. He's just a better pitcher.
Oh, he's light years better. If he can, stay in the strike zone, not walk guys. He gets more swings and misses, I think, than you anticipate, and just really does a good job of sort of managing the game. As long as he's not hurting himself by putting guys on base, he's doing really well. I know we talk about batting average not being the be all end all, but the White Sox do have the lowest team batting average in the American League, so that's something to sort of keep an eye on there as well.
That always happens until the Dodgers come to town.
Until they show up, right?
and then that awful pitcher becomes the best pitcher in the history of the game.
Lowest batting average, lowest team OPS. So, yeah, there it is.
All right.
We're also going to get Paxton's going to be against a name that you mentioned, Marcus. So we'll get a little tryout, a view of Crochet there on the White Sox end. So that might be something to look out for as well.
Yep, definitely. Yep. All right, well, let's do it all again tomorrow, boys. I know Marcus probably will not be here tomorrow because it's Tuesday and he's usually not available.
Yeah.
That's the new kid thing, right? Like Tuesday. I don't know what it means, but
I
know they say wow.
I sketch reference in a minute. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? That's all I know. They do it all the time. I got a 12-year-old. That's how those things work. But let's do it all again tomorrow, boys. It's a really good time. We'll talk about the White Sox. We'll kind of see what Crochet has. That's how you say it, Crochet.
Crochet.
Crochet. Yeah, let's see what Crochet has. Maybe that's a name we might be seeing more often. But we'll do it again. And thanks a lot, Marcus, for being here as always. Parker, thank you for leading the charge on this, and thank you to LAX. We'll see you guys tomorrow.